Hey guys, it's Jamie here and I'm back with another daily journaling activity using the collage templates as background and asking different questions so that the journaling is varied and interesting. First things first, I've already pre-inked, save a bit of time, some of these shapes, and because this was black I went over these which had already been inked in a brown and went round the edges in black just to give it some uniformity. First things is just laying this down according to the template. It's got this square that I haven't really put in, so I could do that, and then it's got this circle, so I need a square of some sort of background. I've got different stages for each page that I do on here because I want to keep it interesting for myself and for you. That's why the different questions, that's why the different collages, that's why even when we do the collaging we'll do different techniques on top. And we were going to do double page spreads, weren't we? So I probably need to do this side as well. I'll show you what I'm going to do with this frame then on this page. I think I want it there, so that's fine. I mean, we're just taking the basic shapes and ideas, we don't have to stick to them perfectly. Then it does have a title section, which of course I haven't done, and really for that I just want a piece of paper like this from this edge. Don't know if you can see that or not. And then we're going to put that slightly different position again because we've got the yellow there and the yellow there, so I might run it that way. I think maybe even cut off the circle a little bit, that might be more interesting. Even when using a template you don't have to stick to it perfectly, it's just to help you get going, really. That's how I'm looking at it. We're going to kind of reverse the concept on this side. Alphabet down here because it's up there. It had the bottom, had one up that side, so really it's going to be one down that side this time. On this one, the squares were this side, so they need to be this side. And a circle, I think I've got some in here. Oh, what I have got, which might be interesting, is actually the frame of that circle. So we could do something a bit different and do the frame. I want to lightly gesso over this when it's got the writing spots on, so everything gets done the same, I think. I need some writing spots adding. I was going to say I was going to keep that so you could see the circle, wasn't I? So maybe like that. Guys, I've been debating whether I want to gesso this or not. Oops. And I've decided I'm going to. Because I was looking at it going, actually I really like it as it is. But you know me, if I say I'm going to try a thing, I'm going to do it. And I may regret it, but we'll just see. So I'm just going to try and get some of this down a little bit. And make it, I don't know, look a little bit older. Probably put too much gesso on as usual, and a bit more splodgy, you know, that ripped up stripping of old wallpaper in an old house look that I quite like. When you start to peel back wallpaper and you see more wallpaper underneath it, that look, I do love that look. I think that then gives us a lovely background for trying to make this journal into something that's a bit like an art journal but also a journal. It's a hybrid journal. What I do is I just put the paint onto some kitchen paper, greaseproof paper as I call it, and roller it on here. Before I do any more decorating, now it's dry, I'm going to fill in today's kind of task. And I'm thinking, I've got a little list here of things to think about and things to think about in the future, how I can improve on them. And from that list, I'm going to look at taking things one step at a time. So what I've just said is taking things one step at a time. So number one is improve my work by breaking it down and doing a few things a week rather than let it build up and, what would you call it, cramming to deadlines. Okay, so that's like an action to take in the future. Okay, so what the other thing that I can think about is, when into a goal, not to be so single-minded and concertina the actions to get there quicker, as that creates stress and self-imposed tight deadlines. And my examples for that are the videos for the junk journaling, where I said I was going to do one a day, and currently the house move. But there are so many examples in my life where I've got into a project and I just don't have the balance. So I suppose that's something that the word that you would want to put next to that, and maybe I might stamp it up or something, is balance, because in both cases balance is the key word. Something I want to try and do daily is the gratitudes. I only managed to get 6 gratitudes. I think if I get 5 to 10, that's plenty. It's the process of giving thanks for what you have that's the important thing. As usual, with any project I'm trying to make arty, I get to a point where I think I have no clue what to do or where I'm going with this. So I think initially I have done some bit of cutting out from a couple of books. I may not use those though. I'm going to try to distress this background a little bit with these ink pads. I didn't bring all the ones over that I wanted to use actually. But let's start with the green and see if I'm any good at this. I'm not sure. That is way too dark, so that would be a not very good at it. Although if you push it through, I suppose it's okay. Let me just take a bit off. I didn't manage to do that very well either, though I do like the effect. So, okay, like the effect. I've got a very, very bright yellow, but it's very sunny outside, so I'm feeling that at the moment. And this yellow has actually already been mixed with orange. And this isn't a distress, it's just an ink. So I thought we could just try, see what happens if we do this. It lifts it even more, doesn't it? Brings in a real sunshine effect. But I don't like being safe, do I? So I think I might see what happens if I put a pink in a corner. That would be a good way to test it, wouldn't it? Just grab a little bit of the baby pink. See if it even shows up. Oh, it does. But does it affect the yellow? No, it just adds a bit of... actually, that's quite cute around the words particularly. You can't, unless it's very white, you're not going to see it because it's such a pale pink. What else am I going to do? Because that's not... I've got these sort of bits here that you could start to put onto... Don't even know where they were meant to go. This one's sort of a climby type one. So there. That could be too much, of course. And then I do have some birds. And you could put them sort of in those circles. Like, there's a circle here. But do the birds and those flowers go? They don't really, do they? They don't really go together because the flowers are very pale in comparison to the birds. I might use different birds. I've got a browner bird, which I think would go better. Maybe I need bigger ones as well. Okay, let's get these flowers down. I've cut a couple of extra birds out. I'm happier with these than the robins because it's keeping within the colour palette. I'm going to stick them down. This one I'm putting inside this circle because it kind of frames the bird. I'm going to do a bit more to frame it in a minute. And then this one I'm just putting here. Again, it's got the circle behind its head and it's central of the page. I still haven't put the date on or the word of the day, so I'll do that and then we'll finish. The birds have been stuck down and the word balance has been stuck down and the date, and I've got here a watercolour pencil which I've just damped down a little bit, and I'm going to try and see what happens if we outline this bird, because at the moment it's such a similar colour to the background, it's not really standing out. But I think I want quite a soft, dribbly sort of effect. Let's just see what happens when we do this. It's either going to be too harsh or it's going to look great, one or the other. And then just dribble it a bit. Yeah, and that Distress Ink's now dribbling. That's kind of cool. Just tip it the other way. See what happens. Should I do the same with the flowers or just the birds? It's tempting to do the same with the flowers, you know. But maybe try not to have them dribble too much. So maybe just get the pencil really wet. It's dripping off like mad now. This might be where I wish I had ink sprays. It's got to dry before I can do much more, but what I can do is kind of outline the page and make it darker at the top of the page. Hold it up like that and let it dry. Here's the nerve-wracking bit. We started with a collage and the idea of using the collage to create the page, and of course the collage is now lost behind everything else. So I'm going to try, and this is why it's nerve-wracking, just getting a little bit of the gold pouring acrylic and highlighting where that collage is, and if it doesn't work then it doesn't work, and I may hate what I'm doing now and wish I hadn't started. You will see. I was going to dry brush it. Of course the paper's still wet, so it doesn't really help with the idea of dry brushing. There's a square. Where's a square? Square there. Obviously we're getting some of that black in this where it's still wet. Probably should wait. You know when you just want to get something done? Because I was just going to randomly add gold, and I might end up doing that because I may not like what I've just done, in which case I'll just literally randomly add some gold on here because I like a bit of glitter. Is that glittering? Oh, it is beautiful. But I'm not sure about this whole trying to pick up the collage thing. I might just have to go with, I'm gonna dry brush some gold in what would you call that, a grid type pattern. So not according to what's on the page, just making sort of crosses across the page like that, and then it's just going to catch where it catches. Yeah, I don't mind that. I think that is done. So this is my hybrid journal stroke art journal. because it has journaling in it, and it's hopefully quite like an art journal, and we use the collage template. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up because it means that other people get to see the video. If you enjoy virtually daily content and all sorts of different things to do with art journaling, junk journaling, normal planning, consider subscribing and hitting the notifications bell so you know when a new video goes up. And let me know what you think of this page. That'll be awesome. Thank you, and I will see you next time.